Casey, I have a question for you.
Go ahead. What's up?
How tight is too tight?
I don't know, dude. That's hard to tell. But if you ask Richard Moats, he'll tell you that it can never be too tight. Richard Moats makes the tightest braided equipment on the market. Look him up at midnightfalconry.com.
Hey, Casey, I have a question for you.
What's up, Aaron?
How perfect is too perfect?
Some say you can never be too perfect.
Well, if you're looking for the perfect goshawk, hit up our boy, Seth Roy, for your parent-reared, a.k.a. chamber-raised, goshawk. Hit him up at northmountaingoshawks.com. All right, Casey, since we're still asking questions here, how fine is too fine?
That's a good question. You should ask Ashley Clark, makers of the finest falconry furniture on the market.
Use code SportingChance10 for 10% off your order.
Oh, you can't post that. That's gonna alienate all our listeners.
What, they're not fans of the truth?
I know. What's up, Rich? How you doing?
All right, a little tired.
Yeah, braiding some equipment down there.
Between that and cleaning fish tanks, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So your day job. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah. So your day job, you clean. You do like tropical fish maintenance in, like, I'm assuming, wealthy people's homes.
Homes and businesses, yeah.
Okay.
Doctors' offices and whatnot.
Like the tank in Finding Nemo in the dentist office.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
What's the dopest tank you serve?
I don't service it, but he had me do an install. It's a 450-gallon reef tank.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like 4 hours away from me, so it's a little bit far of a drive to do normal maintenance, but it was outside his purview to set everything up and, run 2-inch plumbing for his filtration system and everything.
2-inch?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's got a lot of water flow in it.
Dude, I was just in a customer's house. I've been there for to do the rough and then the finish of a small bathroom, but they had what I'm guessing from the marks on the floor and stuff and the piping and the ceilings and the walls. I think these people were breeders of fish or something, but they had pipes going everywhere and filters going into the sink. They upgraded the size of their water main coming in the house. They had a huge 1,000-gallon salt tank that they would because when I don't know much about it, but I know that you're supposed to have a secondary source of salt water to pump in while it's filtering or something. I don't know. My friend is an octopus.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, you can get real elaborate and have automatic water changes and everything like that. So, but with salt water, if you mix it up, it's got to sit for a little bit because it's real caustic when it first initially mixes. So a lot of people have a secondary tank and just have it sitting waiting for their weekly water changes. So
yeah, that's what I think they had going on here. And so now, we could go down the rabbit hole in this, but I don't know if people are going to be super interested. But I'm semi interested in it because it's because you can't just take salt from the store and just throw it in water and then put Finding Nemo in there, right?
Well, they make aquarium salt, yeah.
So you have to buy
as long as you get the marine aquarium salt, yeah.
So do they harvest that from ocean water or something?
Most of it's synthetic, so they make it in the lab and then do that. But there are some where they evaporate the water off. And
oh my god! Oh my god!
Frogs.
Yeah, fish and the frogs.
I was at the dentist and she asked me if I wanted to do a fluoride treatment. And I said, isn't that the stuff that's turning the frogs gay?
She probably didn't even laugh.
She looked at me like I was the biggest idiot ever. And she was like, what? She's like, what? And I said, yeah, fluoride's turning the frogs gay. And she's like,
that's funny.
I don't know what you're talking about. I had to explain it to her.
Yeah, because the CIA has their family held hostage right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
but you know what? Right. I did take the fluoride rinse.
I usually take the fluoride rinse. How about you, Rich? You take the fluoride rinse?
Nope.
as he cleans his teeth. Dude, I got a cavity in the I got a cavity brewing in the back, and like my wife's like harassing me to go to get it taken care of, and I'm just procrastinating, and it's not going to be good.
You got birds to fly.
I do 2 dentist office for their fish tanks, and one in home, and I hate going to the dentist.
Yeah, I absolutely hate it. It's like torture.
The one dentist always tries to get me. You're like, oh, tries to pull me into his services and stuff, and I'm like, I'm good where I'm at.
Yeah,
you got pearly whites. I can see them from here.
Yeah, you got a white
out.
Listen, man, that's like the first thing that women look at is your teeth.
Yeah.
Oh,
they like that.
That's my problem. I've got those West Virginia
got going for me, I guess.
Yeah. When I was young, I used to whiten my teeth like every single day, and they'd be in agony. I would drink water, and it would like shoot. It would like shoot through my jaw, and like I'd go blind for a second.
Oh god, no.
Totally worth it.
That would be bad.
Totally worth it. Awesome. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, I was just curious, Rich. Do you do any tanks that have like the freshwater stingrays or anything like that?
No. None of my customers have anything.
I want one of those.
Aggressive wise, which
I would love to have like
a clean anyhow. So
Arapaima, the big freshwater stingrays, all that stuff. I would love to have.
You can just set up a pool in your backyard and be good to go.
If I live farther south.
Would they live? Would they survive if I got like the temperatures you get, Aaron?
No, probably not. But unless you heated it,
that's easy.
There's a big crazy place in Ohio, but it's all indoors, and they have all those giant. It's like the Ohio Fish Rescue or something like that. Yeah. But they have like
his name's Rich.
3 garages full of just fish tanks and pools and everything. It's kind of crazy.
Ohio, I'm trying to think what the channel's called. I think it might just be Ohio Fish Rescue on YouTube.
That's possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. The guy's got a ridiculously long mullet, and then his son is like this little skinny dude. But they got
sounds
like
about right. I mean, I've seen it, but I'm not like actually like watching very much.
During quarantine, I watched a bunch of that show.
All right, I have one more question, then we're going to move on to some real stuff. Sorry, everybody. How'd you get in this line of work, Rich?
Pet stores. Started in college when I was in Pittsburgh and worked in and out of pet stores for like 15 years. And then moved back to my hometown, and word of mouth, got people knew I had a bunch of fish and started just doing it on the side. And then it got enough customers. I was like, I like working for myself way better than having to clock in for somebody. So just took off and took the leap.
That's a beautiful thing. That's like the number one thing. Rich, I'm sure you agree with me, but that's like the number one thing. Like if you're like a 15-year-old kid flying your bird and you're obsessed with falconry and you're like, when I grow up, how am I going to have time to fly birds? Like start your own business or something. Figure out some way where you can pick your own schedule or something. That's like pretty much the only way to really get after it. And I'm sure I
was actually, last year was kind of bad because I took on some extra customers and stuff and kind of messed my schedule up because it's mostly, get that last hour flight in. And it was, instead of being able to fly 3 or 4 times a week like I was before, is like once a week, which was like killing me. So
yeah, but you're making money though. So I'm kind of in that boat now. But now what I started doing, Rich, is I would bring the bird to work with me, and I would just tell customers or whoever I'm working for, like I'm going to lunch, and I would just try to bang it out in like an hour. And I would just pull the bird out of a local spot, try to catch a squirrel, crop her up. And I mean, if they're cropped, it gets dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock. So like, I'd rather work when it's dark than be rushing after work to fly. Might as well just take a break in the middle of the day, fly your bird, European style, take a little break, and then take a nap after, and then get back to work. But that's awesome. So
the bad thing is having the dogs though. So
I saw it, Rich. I saw that. I saw that you've moved into the dark side.
Unfortunately, yeah.
What prompts Richard got a long-haired mini dachshund. What prompted you to do that?
I mean, I have the Decker Terrier for squirrels because that's mostly what I have to hunt the squirrels. And I mean, big fox squirrels, like 1,000 gram, 1,200 gram fox squirrels.
Jeez.
So, I mean, need a big red tail. And then, so I got the Decker, and he's good. He doesn't use his nose in the field as much as, I wanted him to be able to find that, the rabbits and stuff. But kind of traveling all over and seeing everybody else with their dogs, and the mini dachshunds just kind of have like no stop apparently. So They just kind of get in there and make things move. So where Echo, he's got, short coat, and I used to run a briar vest on him, but it would get hung up in the briars and everything like that. And then take the briar vest off of him, and he doesn't want to go into the briars anymore. So it's kind of
Would he
a
get
pain,
tore up?
but
Would the Decker get cut up?
All across his chest when he was like pushing into him? He would get tore up in his like armpit areas and stuff like that. So
this hasn't come up yet. This hasn't come up, Casey, when we've talked about beagles, but good friend of mine down here gun hunts over beagles. He has beagles that they wag their tail so much while they're chasing rabbits that they'll just beat their tail down to the bone. He's had beagles that he's had to dock their tail as adults.
Yeah, well, luckily Echo has his tail docked, so didn't have to worry about that issue.
That is very revealing, Aaron, in a not so good way. Your dog's tails don't bleed? They should be bleeding if that means you're not running them enough. Everybody in Jersey's got freaking.
Not as excited, apparently.
Everybody in Jersey, everybody I grew up running with, Teddy's dogs, they got a little dab of tape on there before you rip them out of the truck like mid-season.
So much that you have to dock their tails?
No, not dock it, but they
then shut your goddamn mouth.
No, you need the tail. You definitely need the tail because it's a handle to gently pull the dog back, or if it's stuck or something.
Oh well, we don't do holes. Maybe that's.
I think I've seen one of Teddy's old dogs that had the little bit missing. I think Mick has it.
Yeah. I bred Ginger
about an inch or so into her tail's missing.
Yeah, sometimes I've noticed because I experienced it firsthand, and you see some guys' dogs like on social media that like the dachshund's tail slightly shorter, and I had 3 puppies with Ginger, and the male, his tail had like a little kink at the end, like a little like just right at the tip, and I'm like, Teddy, what do I do? And she's like, just take a nail clipper and clip it off. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, he's not even gonna feel it, just do it. And I clipped it. It didn't even really bleed at all. Dog didn't even move. Eyes were still closed. And I just monitored it and just like put him back, and Ginger licked it and took care of it. And you never even know the difference. So I guess that's something that happens.
I feel like that's what a lot of breeders do. If they do it themselves, they do it right when they're born. So
I feel, Teddy said you have to. Otherwise, if you do it later, it's like apparently like there's an artery, right, Aaron? There's like some artery that runs up in there, and you got to kind of be careful.
Yeah, you got to do it while they're young.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the vet has to do it. But the dude I'm talking about, he puts bands on their tails, and their tail just rots off above the band.
Oh, the beagle guy?
The beagles, yeah.
Oh, so they get so tore up and disgusting that he just does like the old goat castration.
Castration. Yeah.
But going back to you running your mouth about me running my dogs.
I'm just joking. My Ginger's tail doesn't bleed, so I'm just joking. And if any dog's tail is going to bleed, it's Ginger's.
Those my little bastards run Saturdays and Sundays 8 to 10 miles each.
People like Teddy that run every single day through thick brush.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing like, well, you probably guys don't, maybe you know, but like, I don't know what kind of tape it is. It's like medical tape, like for like guys with jujitsu, you always see them like they got a bad finger that gets jammed. They tape it all up and stuff.
It's what Ric Flair has on his fingers, where he hides the little razor blades.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not familiar with that. Rich, are you into that? Are you into that stuff?
No, I am not.
Okay, because we had another guest.
Used to be when I was a kid, but nah, never.
Yeah, you realize it was fake.
Got into that fake wrestling.
Did you guys know the Avengers is fake and Deadpool's fake too?
Obviously.
Yeah, it's just like an adult guy's soap opera, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's my stories.
I guess. Yeah, I feel like I was thinking about it. Like I've always like like my friends growing up were into it, and I'm like, what is this crap? And like there was girls in bikinis, so like I wasn't allowed to watch it. My mom wouldn't let me. But like I look at like looking back,
Mama Sue?
Looking back as an adult, like I feel like if you're at one of those things, right, and you're like everyone's there cheering and like guys are like smashing each other on the ground, like it'd be super fun to be there. But I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna like cry if like something happens, like some of these guys.
You
like
wouldn't
Aaron.
cry.
Yeah, live action stuff. So I mean,
lost.
go watch all the little luchadors and stuff like that. But those are fun.
Oh, those like the
little like Mexican wrestlers,
the little people.
Yeah. Well, no, they're not little. No, they're not little. They're just like the Mexican, like the masked wrestlers.
People like my height.
A couple times, but
like me with brown skin and a mask.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, my son comes up to me. He's on this new kick now. He goes, I want my skin to look like yours. I don't like my skin. That's literally what he says to me.
Oof.
Isn't that so weird?
That's crazy.
Wild. I'm like, Leo, you're perfect. You're half mommy, you're half daddy. It's fine. You're okay. And he's like, no, I want it to be
crappy
white.
Kid at school.
No, I mean maybe, but you never know. But I don't know. He's on that kick now. But anyway, so
he also wants to drink his own pee like you too.
Oh yeah. My mom totally got busted because she tried to pretend like she didn't show him that episode. Because when she watches him, she must have been playing it. Because he just randomly, I think I told this story on the podcast already, that he's like, I want to drink pee. And I'm like, what? Where did that come from?
He just wants to be like his dad. That's all it is.
He's like, I want to drink pee like you. I said, where did you hear that? He goes, I'm Susan. She told me. He has like an accent when he says my mom's name. He goes, I'm Susan. I'm like, oh my God. And we told him that you do not drink your own pee. Daddy made a mistake. It was very yucky. Don't do that. So funny, man.
You only drink your pee if you're being paid big money.
Yeah. Apparently there's some medical benefits that are like, witchcraft or whatever. I don't know. But
you remember Leota Machida?
Of course. Yeah. That's exactly who I was thinking of when I said that. That was literally the guy I was thinking of when I said that just now. Leota Machida, of course. He drinks his own pee.
Yeah. Says it's healthy.
It's also people that like put their butthole up to the sun and stuff like that for some kind of health benefits.
Your third eye. You see that guy with the beard, that really creepy guy? And he's like, he does those exercises with a bunch of dudes where they like clench their butthole and they go, and they like, and you ever seen that? You never saw that? Oh my God. He goes on all these. Dude, he's dead serious. Gosh. He's dead serious. And he goes on all these like comedic
Jared Leto?
No. It could be, but no. He goes on all these comedic podcasts and he like just talks about like all these stuff he does and he thinks they're really interested in it and everyone's just like, dude, this guy's a psychopath. Like they get naked and like whip each other in the balls and like it's supposed to release like your masculine like
we need to get him on the show.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, so all right, let's come on. Let's get serious here. Yeah. All right, come on.
Richard, I got a question for you.
Here we go. Let's go.
Where'd that dachshund come from?
Some backyard breeder down in North Carolina.
There's a bunch of them down there.
Yeah.
Nah, he's from Gamekeeper from you, Aaron.
Nice.
So, pretty happy. And I think we kind of got off topic here, but asking about how I got into the dachshund, there was like a year because Echo, he's 3, and the first year really didn't do or expect very much for him, and then the second year he did great, on squirrels and stuff like that, but he didn't have the nose and everything to find things. He'd jump it up, and if he saw it, he would chase it, and about a year wanted to get something else, something a little bit more nose or a little bit gamier bred Decker Terrier, and just happened to be like a week before Aaron posted up that he had one come up available. I asked for Teddy's information. I wanted to get in on list for dachshund, and then I just jumped on that one you had, Aaron. So
can't go wrong.
Wasn't definitely not.
Yeah.
So
this should be a good season for him. He's the right age.
Yeah, I'm really excited, especially with both of them. So yeah. I mean, I'll probably hunt River, which is the dachshund laying up here on the bed, and I'll probably try to get him out, by himself for a couple times and then mix Echo in. So
what kind of stuff? What kind of stuff have you been doing with him?
Oh, I mean, from the get go, doing drags and live baggies and stuff like that. And then a couple weeks ago, went and did field trial. We actually got first place in a field trial.
Dang, man! Congratulations!
9 other dogs. So
I was so
it wasn't no slouches either. Had John Munier's dogs and my buddy Garrett. He has one of Teddy's dogs, and I was like, yes,
that's awesome.
But yeah, he was on that morning, luckily. So.
Dude, and he's still a pup too. I was so proud of you, man. You did
8 months.
Such a good job with him. And Jamie Sexton, I think is her name. She was there as well. She's not a falconer, but she breeds really good dogs.
Okay.
And, I saw before you sent me that picture, she was posting pictures of her at that trial. So that's awesome, dude. Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. Harrison went to.
I wasn't expecting anything. I was like, the first day he got MBQ, against 8 dogs. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, But then it was actually kind of weird because the way they do it, the braces, he did 2 braces and then they had 4 dogs and he didn't call his name for the last brace against those 4 dogs. I was like, oh, crap, So I thought he did pretty good. And I'm first time there, and I was like, had no clue what was going on, so I didn't know what they were looking for, and I'm just standing there, and they called out his name first. I was like, what? Wow. And I guess apparently he had so many points for the prior brace that they didn't even call him back they were just second and third place they were figuring.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, that's awesome.
They were competing for second and third?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Dude, congratulations, man. That's a big deal.
That day, so. Yeah, I guess.
A few more and it
was definitely not hunting. You just find the track of the rabbit, and but it was a different experience, and got to hang out with Teddy and Mick and John and a couple of my buddies Rick and Garrett and all the other dachshund people.
That's awesome. So, can you talk us through a field trial, like just briefly, like maybe just kind of like what goes down there for like the listeners?
Well, you got to get up really early, apparently. So, they start everything at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
But, I mean, it was, you just get all your dogs and everything lined up, and all the dogs have to be there to be put into braces, and they break it down, open dogs, champion bitches, and open bitches. And they run all 4 of those classes, and with the dachshunds, it was 2 dogs at a time.
Okay, so
everybody's out in the field.
Okay, because that was my question. I kind of I've never been to a field trial, but I understand kind of how they work. But I'm just trying to clarify for the listeners that 2 dogs run at a time, but they pair you up in the morning to see what dog should go with what dog, so that a field champion is not competing with like a new puppy or something like that. And it's
no, it takes 35 points, I think.
Okay,
to be a field champion. And you get so many points. I think it's 1 point for every dog that you go against in your group as first place. And then second place is, I think, half, and third's a third, and fourth is a quarter.
So he ran a lot. Like that. So he ran a lot that day.
He ran twice. And then the winners of each of the open, the field champion, go against it's the field champion dog, field champion bitches go together. And he was more interested in her.
Right.
So, I mean, he didn't have a chance of following the rabbit trail. He was following her through the thing.
My boy was all horned
she
up.
Beat him. Exactly. And then whoever wins the brace, which those actually aren't even for points. Like once you get outside of your bracket, it's just for bigger ribbons. So
got it.
And the winner of the open and the winner of the field champion actually go for what they call absolute. So
that's pretty cool.
You just have like the actual like field trial. Everybody goes out with their dogs for that group. You're setting your braces. You have lines of people walking, flushing rabbits. Once they flush a rabbit, they yell tally ho and mark the track. And they have a field judge. Field judge, follow like where they're going to tell you where to put the dog down, where the track started, and then they fall, like the dogs have to follow the track. And like I said, I'm not sure what they're looking for. If they stay on track, they keep their nose down,
Right.
how fast they are. I think if they open, they get more points, for that. But
right.
Yeah, it's definitely not hunting. It's just like kind of almost like NAVDA does for like their first training, like initial.
It's a fun
I don't even
game.
know what they call it. Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So like whatever their inherent traits are, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
that's cool.
There's a Earth Dog trial coming up here. So dachshunds can compete in the terrier Earth Dog trials. It's an AKC event, just like the dachshund field trials. So it's basically terriers and dachshunds. That's it. Those are the only things that can compete, and they have to be AKC recognized breeds. So I did one once, and Atticus, my male, he has got what is he? I think junior Earth Dog. I think is the title he has. So those are pretty neat too. They have wooden tunnels that are underground, and at the end there's a rat in a cage. So the dog has to navigate the tunnels, and as they go up in difficulty, there'll be like squeezes and stuff where they have to squeeze through to get to the rat, and they have to stay there, and they have to bay at the rat for a certain amount of time. It's the same thing. It's like, it's not ratting,
right?
Yeah,
it's a fun little game. It's
they do that. The terrier trials down in Kentucky I go to, but Echo, he's a little bit too big to fit in the tunnel, so I think it's like a 9-inch tunnel. So
9-inch tunnel, Franny could gallop in that thing.
Seriously.
Oh yeah, the dachshunds, yeah, for sure.
The dachshunds,
even some of the
issue.
Full-size dachshunds can go in, but like 30-pound dachshunds. But
most common dog there are border terriers.
Not familiar with
the AKC stuff.
What's that?
The one I have been to has only been the Yog Terrier, because I was kind of interested in them too. Is one of my ones I wanted to try and see.
Good thing,
but they seem a little bit out of control for my my liking. But everybody has their niche and their dog. So
we've had some people convince us that they can be good falconry dogs, and they're just a good game dog in general.
Yeah,
for sure.
I wouldn't mind having one around, just like in the field with us. Like a well-trained one, just to just destroy anything we find. But like you kind of, based off of what Chad Reynolds was saying in the last episode, you kind of have to know what you're doing when you're training them and be a little bit more. You have to watch them. You have to start everything. You have to start early with them, with the respect for the bird and stuff like that. And you see videos of people that did not do that, and then they get a lot of views on their videos, and then like people like myself, who I've since kind of changed my mind on it, but then people like myself are like, well, why would you even run this kind of a dog if it's latching onto your bird, latching onto the jackrabbit, latching onto your bird, while you're running full speed? Like, why would you even have this thing in the field? But if you do it right, they can be excellent. So
yeah, I don't think it's the fact that they're going to be overly aggressive like that, because they seem like they're very smart dogs, but it's almost like the differentiation between a Malinois and a German Shepherd. You know, like a Malinois is just like go 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 go, and like they have like one thing on their mind, but if they're trained, they're going to be really good. But
yeah, of course,
I don't want something that's going to go out and kill my neighbor's cats. But
well,
I mean,
Casey does.
Actually,
I like my neighbors. I might have a problem. So.
No, they don't need to know. They don't need to know.
If I had all the time and money and space, I would have some Yag Terriers. I think they're pretty cool, but I would probably use them for raccoons and rats and stuff like that. I do think if you lived out west, would be
awesome for that, for sure.
I think if you lived out west, Yag Terrier would be pretty good to keep jackrabbits moving if you wanted a smaller dog.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to keep them moving.
Or dig badgers. That was pretty fun talking about that with Chad.
Yeah, that's wild stuff. Absolutely wild.
They're definitely neat dogs. They really are.
I think we would all agree that dachshunds, seriously, all jokes aside, we love to talk shit, obviously, but for where we are in the game that we have, dachshunds, I think, are the best dirt hawking dog. you can get on the East Coast.
I mean, I'm really excited to get out in the field with him. I mean, Echo definitely helped get stuff moving because you have just an extra thing in the field running around. He'll run 5-6 miles to my 2 miles walk. So,
right.
I mean, that's just gonna get stuff moving. But when you have something like a dachshund that can get in a little bit tighter spaces and actually reflush things, so and use their nose a little bit better.
You'll see more of everything, not just rabbits, but squirrels too. You will find more squirrels
I'm sure.
with the dachshund. Yeah. If
sure.
they stick their face in a hole that there's a squirrel, or up a hollow tree, if they crawl in, be careful not to let it go up the tree and become like that famous mummy dog. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, I have, yeah.
Have you ever seen that, Casey?
Yeah, I saw it where it was mummified, barking or whatever.
Breaks my heart. I could totally see it happening though. For anybody listening, it's a coonhound crawled inside of a tree, climbed up the tree after a raccoon, and the hunters lost it. And then a logging crew cut the tree down and found the coonhound up 20, 30 feet up in a tree, mummified.
Jeez. There's all kinds of crazy history with coon hunting and coon dogs and stuff. And they say down south you'll find collars hanging on trees and all kinds of stuff.
I've never found one.
No, but you know what I'm referring to, right?
No.
Basically, in the old days, if the dog wasn't producing or performing the way that you like, they just they would just put it down right there,
hold it right there,
I mean, listen, it's better than in the wild, an animal that's not going to make the cut, starving to death and having a brutal end. I'm not saying it's right. I don't know that I would never do that, but I'm just saying it used to happen in the old days. Nobody does it anymore. They
couldn't afford to feed a bad dog.
Well, that's what it was. Yeah, they were doing it for subsistence a lot, like your family, Aaron, and it was you weren't doing coon hunting, but you were your family was trapping and stuff like that. So you can't just have 10 dogs that and 5 of them are really good and 5 of them are garbage. You'll take food out of your family's mouth to keep them alive. It just doesn't work. So you gotta either get, and then if nobody wants them, then what do you do with them? So it is what it is.
Yeah. So Rich, how did you get started in falconry?
Kind of.
You don't have your license.
What's that?
I said, you don't have your license. You're just doing it.
No, this will be my 5th season. So it's kind of I guess a midlife crisis. I guess.
All right.
looking for something to do, and
having one of those right now.
Yeah. It was. I've always a Miata.
Oh my God! Please don't.
I'm joking.
Hey, my sponsor got a white automatic Corvette, T-top white Corvette that's automatic. Yeah, Phil got a Corvette, a white Corvette that's automatic and a T-top. I said, bro, out of all the cars to get in your midlife crisis, what are you doing with this thing?
Holy crap.
I have a Dodge Stealth twin turbo, and I've had that for 20 years. So.
Oh, that's what's up. That's nice.
Yeah.
So
but as far as getting into falconry, it was one of those random things. I've always been an animal lover and always had birds and cockatoos and parakeets and finches, and I mean, hell, now I got 100 pigeons and chickens and everything coming to my wazoo. But kind of sparked from the 60-minute thing with Lauren McGow.
So, oh, really? Wow, that's interesting.
That was the thing that actual with falconry, but I've seen the displays and stuff they had at Sportsman's Expos and had birds. My uncle was married to a vet in Alaska, and they had a bunch of rehab bald eagles and stuff, and went up there when I was 13, was able to hold those and see all that, but it never really sparked as far as want to do falconry until saw that 60-minute special and started going down the rabbit hole online and finding all the videos and reading whatever I could. And I mean, heck, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's actually a drawing I did back in the 90s. of a white gyr-falcon sitting on a rock.
That's awesome.
I can't see it from here, but it looks like the dimensions are right. It looks good. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I was probably like 11 or 12 when I drew it, but it hangs on the wall.
That's awesome, man.
That's cool, dude. So you're an artist as well.
Yeah. Don't do it as much anymore, but I do a bunch of CAD stuff for a buddy of mine that has a machine shop. But as far as like actually sit down drawing and stuff like that, I don't have time to, honestly.
You need to do it. You need to do a design for the podcast.
Yeah.
I might be able to.
All right.
He doesn't seem too excited, but all right.
Yeah, all right.
Well, like I say, just
forget it then. Forget it.
Having the time to do anything is like just craziness. But
algae does grow rampantly, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's nonstop.
Okay, so you saw the 60 Minutes thing with Lauren, and you went down the rabbit hole, and then there's a lot of steps, right? So like, talk us through some of the steps. Like, how'd you find someone? Who was your sponsor? All that stuff.
It was about a 2-year process, actually, of once I started and getting my license and everything. So, found a local state club, which West Virginia was actually one of the last states to have falconry. And 97 was the last when they actually got it legalized. And there's only, I want to say about 30 in the state, but there's only like 15 in the club.
Right.
And went to one of the PA clubs picnics the first time and talked to those guys.
Roy while you were there?
No, actually, it was the other PA club that we talk about.
Which club is cooler?
It actually worked out because I'm still really good friends with a bunch of the people that got ostracized from there because of their political views.
Do you know the history of all that? Can you just like spill a little bit of the dirt for the listeners?
I've gotten bits and pieces, but I couldn't tell you what happened to.
Come on, you got to
split things.
Come on.
As far as like why there's 2 clubs in PA, or
the drama between it, like why is there 2 clubs? Like why is that? Like it's.
I'm sure it was political. I mean, Mike Dupuis is pretty outspoken, so.
Right.
Oh, is he the guy for the other club?
Yeah, he was the first picnic I went to and talked to him in there and met a bunch of the guys.
Yeah,
I still talk to.
No, I'm friends with Mike. I talk to Mike all the time. Mike's a good guy. There was a falconer. There was a falconer that was having a little trouble with his perching setup for his new bird, and I reached out to Mike. I said, "Mike, can we do something for this kid, please? Come on, let's make something happen." And he reached out to the kid. He said, "Listen, I got an older perch. It's yours if you want it. What's your address?"
Wow.
We got the kid a perch. So no, Mike's a good guy. Me and Mike had some.
I mean, he definitely seems like a good guy from what I've talked to him and stuff. But like I said, I think a lot of it was like political.
Yeah, but like you can you can have political differences. Like I hawk with people that are like one direction and I'm another direction, and we don't talk about it. We don't argue about it. We just fly our birds and we just have a good time.
Yeah. I mean, some people can't let it go, but
I guess. And if you're like that, then you know what I mean. Like, I feel strong about my beliefs. I'm sure other people feel strong about their beliefs, but I'm not going to like cram it down your throat and fight about it. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Casey was at the January 6th insurrection.
No, I was not. No, I was not.
Still looking for him.
I was not. Let's just clarify that. Although. Never mind. And, no.
And I was leading the women's march in DC, but we're still great friends,
Yeah, we're still good friends. We got it. Yeah. We both go one way, but we do actually. Aaron's a little bit more on one side and I'm a little bit more on the other side, but that's what's nice. We can still be buddies and get this show out and have a good time. And, it doesn't have to be like that. You know what I mean? And I don't understand why. I mean, I kind of understand. I get it. Me and Mike had some words years ago and it got like really heated. And then, like it went back and forth. And then I started getting phone calls from people I know and respect. And they're like, what did you I'm hearing this, that you said something. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I didn't mean that. Like, no. And then I ended up getting Mike on the phone. And first of all, when you talk to him, he sounds like he's got a voice for radio, this guy. And
for sure.
he does, right? He's like, Casey, listen, man. Like, I see that you have many friends, diverse friends, and your wife is diverse. Like, I see. Okay, so I understand that you didn't mean what you meant, and we just squared the whole thing away over the phone, like that. Boom. I was like, Mike, as we were fighting, my bird is sitting on your bow perch in my mew. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have any problem with you. I just didn't like what you posted, and I said I spoke my mind, but maybe it got a little out of hand. But me and Mike are cool now. There's no problems at all. Like, he makes real good equipment. He's got good perches. Quail's overpriced, but obviously he has to make a profit. So that's that's just quail's expensive. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But no, me and Mike there's no animosity.
Shipping is one of the killers with stuff like that.
Dude, that's why I find the guy that I'm going to, and I drive myself out there, and I get as much as I need, and I drive back. That's it. So you went to the picnic. You met Mike. Mike's good people, as far as I'm concerned. And then obviously none of them could sponsor you because you're not from PA, right? So
actually, West Virginia allows for out-of-state sponsors.
Aha. So, okay.
But yeah, that was just like one of the first things I did, and then met up with the Ohio guys because their picnic's only like 3 hours from me, and then the PFHT meet. I went to that and ended up finding my sponsor. He hunts a lot with the Ohio guys because he's in Wheeling, which is like right across the river from Ohio.
Okay.
And started with around the same time Mick, which there's their president, and he's a character. Mick is, but my sponsor, he took me on, and well, first he met me at the Ohio meet, and went there and talked to him and everything, and then he said he would sponsor me, and went out trapping and everything. Unfortunately he didn't have a bird when I was present with him, okay. And so it was more like paper sponsor,
right? But if he always
on the phone, text message away, and always wanting me to send him updates and what I was doing, and he came out hunting with me a couple times, and actually my first bird, we were walking into the woods, he told me to throw the bird up, bring it down to a tidbit, and make sure it had good response, and then we started hunting, and the bird's like following us, like just go as we're walking, just right behind us and everything. He like looks at me, he's like, "You sure you haven't hunted this bird yet?" I'm like, "Nope, first time." He's like, "Well, she's following really good." And that was like the nail in the coffin, because like we got down through the woods and actually got distracted by somebody walking a dog, and they were talking to us. The bird was sitting right above us, and bird takes off down through the woods, and I'm like, all right, I gotta go follow the bird. He was standing there talking to her still, and so I'm running down through the woods and trying to find the bird, and of course I didn't have telemetry on, I just had bells.
Oh, okay.
And so like probably about 20 minutes or so go by, and I get down to the spot, and I hear the the jingle of the bell, and it like is coming up off the ground, how you hear when they take off, and so I get to where it was, and it didn't want to have anything to do with me. So all day until dark, we chased the bird like a clover leaf. Like we go out this way, and the bird would circle back to the same spot. And then we come back to there, and it would go out the other way and then circle back to the spot. Like a whole day long until dark. So bird actually like left it above where it was when I originally found it, stayed in the tree overnight, and came back the next day, and it was 5 ounces heavier the next day when I pulled it out of the tree.
Wow.
So yeah, it found something or killed something, and yeah, it was gorged up the next morning. So that's why I didn't have anything to do with us trying to get it back. So
that's a pretty cool experience for was it your first free flight, I'm assuming?
first free flight, first bird. Yeah.
Oh wow.
You think that's a cool experience?
No, it's good.
Dude,
Listen, it's good.
I bet he was miserable.
It was pretty bad. It was really bad. That's
but
for
looking
sure.
back, Rich, you're probably like, all right, I dealt with something. I handled it. I did the right things. My sponsor was assuming he was there with you, telling you, all right, let's try to go out, or let's come back. I'm assuming you stayed till dark, like a normal proper falconer, right?
Yeah,
And
like
then,
I said, stayed until we roosted in the tree right above where it was and killed something, and was there in the morning when I came back.
And you didn't go back. You didn't go back at 10 o'clock in the morning, right? You went back at first light, I'm assuming.
No, I was back. Yeah, I was back before. I was walking in with the headlight on and everything, so I could get back in there before. And it was probably like maybe about 15, 20 minutes before daylight came up, and hear the little jingle up in the tree when it starts moving around in the morning. And then it was like an hour before it came down to the lure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was.
No, I don't care. Aaron, I don't care.
It was definitely a learning experience.
That's a good learning experience right there. That's a good learning experience.
Looking back, but I'm sure at the moment it was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
It was really rough. Yeah. Like I said, first bird, first flight. I'm like, lose this bird.
Yeah.
I remember my first flight, the feeling, nothing like it. You're just like, God, I hope this thing comes back. I could only imagine if it didn't. How that felt.
For sure. And I probably overtrained it a little bit, but it was like probably about 3 or 4 weeks, I think, between trapping it and getting it out flying. So.
Okay. That's good.
So you're currently flying a red tail, right?
Yeah. This will be our 3rd season. So,
is that the
as long as she works out with the dachshund?
Right. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that. And that's a small dog, right? That's a nice sized dog, right? It's
he's 11, 12 pounds. So.
Oh, okay. So he's decent, but he could he's
decent size. He's like the same. He's almost exactly like Dickie.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Harrison's dog.
Yeah, so real ugly and overweight.
Terrible looking dog, yeah.
My dogs,
looking little thing.
If they're anything, my dogs are beautiful.
Yeah, they do have that nice. I like Aaron's line because they got real nice long muzzles. They're real nice, real hound looking with the long face.
Yeah, they don't have like the Chihuahua apple head like some of them.
Listen, the Chihuahua apple head goes right down the hole and pops the rabbit out the other side. I'll tell you that. Usually when there's a Chihuahua apple head, the rabbit's shooting out of a hole somewhere at some point.
Betty calls hers that too. She's like, they're not much to look at, but they do the job.
Yeah. That's why it's great that we have different guys in the country breeding different lines, and then you can kind of get different stuff. Then you can breed back to stuff and get a whole new thing, and it's just it's awesome, man. So you flew that bird and then I'm assuming you caught game with it.
Which my first bird?
Yeah.
My first bird, it was a smaller male, and he was just mouser. Like mice and voles and baby turtles, and like he wasn't the greatest. Like he would chase, but he never actually caught.
What kind of turtle?
Yeah, I was like bound and determined to catch a rabbit or something with him. And I was hunting clear into March, and it was hot, and stuff starting to come out, and it was like a little baby painted turtle about this big, just big enough that he couldn't swallow it, but he had it in his mouth. I yanked it out and had like a little tip taken off of it, so I came back in the mud and
stupid
let
bird.
him go.
Oh my god, it's so frustrating when they do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But then my second bird was. I actually didn't fly my second bird. My second bird took her out, and she was like headhunter. Like she'd do flybys and hit me in the side of the face and
really
stuff like that. And the one, my sponsor, the final straw for him was like we were out hunting and she was following, and I was like, she's like not paying attention to anything other than me. Like she's not looking at the trees or squirrels and stuff running. She's just looking at me, and I turned around and she was like diving at me. I put my arm up and she hit the glove, bounced off the glove, landed on the ground, and jumped up and grabbed the hold of my pant leg. And my sponsor is like, you either have to get a hockey helmet or cut her loose. So, and it was I probably only hunted her like 3 or 4 times. So it was really early still. So cut her loose and went out and trapped another bird.
What do you think the reason was for that?
she was real talkative. So I don't know if she was a late hatch and kind of imprinty.
Right.
And maybe if I probably would have like hunted her at like her trap weight, maybe it would have been a little bit different, but never really played with her weight other than like dropping it. So I don't know if maybe that, and like I said, it's my second bird, not knowing, I probably would have raised her weight up and seen, if it took a little bit edge off of her and made her want to hunt instead of headhunt me.
Yeah, that's sketchy.
So,
I had one like that when I was young.
Tail?
Yeah, when I was a kid. Yeah, the first season was fantastic, but I trapped it. Like I was so excited. It's like my second or third bird I ever had, and I was really excited to get out trapping. And trapping in Jersey at the time opened like September 1st. Dude, I trapped the sucker September 1st, like in the morning. And
first light.
Yeah, like I went right out. Like I was so pumped. I went out, I got it. And it flew great the first season, but like you said, Rich, it would like talk to me.
Yeah.
And it would like be real, like kind of vocal. Like the first bird or two that I had before that wouldn't do that. And then the second season when I dropped its weight, and then I was opening the door and throwing food into it the whole summer, of course, standing in there, letting it see me throw the food from my hand. And then I, was excited, as I tend to be to this day. I was excited to get into the field, and I think I just slammed the weight too fast. And I mean, this thing was just, it smashed my buddy in the back of his head. Granted, he had like a fur coat on, and it smashed him in the back of the head, full speed, knocked him on his floor. And this kid's is a big kid. He played football and stuff. Knocked him in the back of the head, fell on the floor. Then it went at my face one day from the ground. Like it finished the food on the lure after a hunt, and then like flew up at my face, like when I was bending down to pick it up. And then after that, I said, you know what, like this is not worth it. And I drove up to where I live now, which is funny, and then cut it loose as far away as possible and never saw it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, and I think it was just because it was early, Rich, like same with you, maybe. Like, I don't know. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have the skills. I just said, I'm cutting my losses, getting rid of this thing. So then you trapped, is it the bird that I saw when we flew a couple years ago?
That's the bird I have now.
The vampire.
I had another bird in between. This is my fourth red tail.
Okay.
So, the one I have now, she had a real bad respiratory infection or something going on with her, and the vets gave her some antibiotics and antifungals and shots of this and shots of that, and I think it actually did something to make her eyes turn dark real fast, and that's the demon bird that you see.
Yeah, that's why he pulls. I went to the PA meet for the first time. Like, what was that? Maybe 3 years ago, probably. Maybe 2 years ago. And
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago, and he pulls this thing out, and it's just like, it's like a juvie bird with like black eyes. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, so I said, that thing's like a vampire, dude. So now every time I refer to Rich's bird, I call it the vampire.
Yeah, that's Dumpling.
Dumpling, cool looking bird.
Wow. I like how Casey's got this cool name for it, and you're like, it's Dumpling.
Vampire.
Vampire. Yeah, it's a cool. You just don't see. You don't see. You
gotta give him cutesy names. Like it was kind of funny because I named my first bird Artemis, and he was a mouser. So then my second bird that actually flew, named her Cinnamon, and then this one's Dumpling.
So, that's great.
Cinnamon actually comes from Step Brothers.
Say that again.
Yeah. Step Brothers. Cinnamon was a neighbor's German Shepherd.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Right. Good movie.
I'm not big on naming birds myself. It just feels so, I don't know. Feels weird.
Well, when you have how many you got hanging around your house?
17 or 19 or something.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when you got that many.
This new red tail that I'm messing with, I just want to call it like 3 initials or something, like stupid fucking bitch or something. SFB or something. It's like I'm gonna take her places and they'll be like, what's her name? And I'll go, oh, this is SFB.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Miguel's bird was MFer.
MFer.
Yeah, but he didn't say it like that though.
My sponsor's bird was DB. That was a cool name, DB, but it was for Dirty Bird because when he trapped him, he was covered with coal soot. He had literally covered with soot.
He was cleaning chimneys?
I guess. No, he was trapped. He trapped him near a power plant, so he was getting in like coal ash or something.
And Steve Shingren had a bird, right? It was like BBC, right? Or something?
BBG.
BBC.
BBC, yeah.
Oh, BBG. Sorry.
Yeah, I actually thought about naming this bird, all jokes aside, RB for Ratty Bird, because she's just her feathers are so crappy looking.
So Aaron, you're just gonna
Is that the one that has the messed up tail still?
Yeah, she still does.
Haven't been able to do anything to fix it?
Nope. For anyone listening who doesn't know, it's just her tail is just so ratty. It looks like, I don't know.
Looks like you pushed the feathers the wrong way.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you took the feathers and brushed them the opposite direction that they should go,
and they just stuck like that.
And they're stuck like that.
So weird.
If she wasn't 48, 49 ounces, she would be back in the wild.
Yeah. She's a nice bird. That's awesome. So Rich,
she gonna fly at that weight?
Oh, sorry.
So I took her out today, free flown her twice. For anyone listening that knows the timeline, you can get a bird out pretty quick if you really want to. At this point, I've done it enough times where I'm in no huge hurry. So with that being said, I've free flown her 2 or 3 times. Today I took her out and she was 48.5 and she was not following as keenly as I would like her to. So I'm going to bring her down a little bit. I'm thinking I'm going to try and get her down to like 47 and see where she's at. But to be fair, it's also like 90 degrees and miserable down here right now still. So,
yeah, terrible to drop weight.
Yeah, well, that too. And
I mean, the bird I have now, she's molts out at like 56 ounces and flies at like, a lot smaller than what you would think.
What's she flying at?
Like 42 to 43.
Okay, so a nice size female.
So, yeah, she's nice size.
Yeah, we were just talking.
That's what I'm hoping she'll work with with River with the dachshunds. If not, I'll cut her loose and trap another one.
Yeah.
Have you done any exercises to try to like see how she'll be and like put them out together?
I mean, the dogs are out with me. Everything I do outside. So, I mean, she's had exposure to him and stuff like that. So she flares up at him just like she does with Echo. So she doesn't try to like attack the edge of the muse or anything like that. So we'll see once weight starts coming down. Because I mean, she smacked Echo a few times, but he's big and dumb, so
I might start her with the dogs in some real thick shit, so the dogs aren't running around on the forest floor where she's just got clear shots at them.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably do like some credence work with her, and have the dogs with me. So usually what I do whenever I first start them out with the dogs is I'll have them on a leash with me. So if I'm calling the bird to me on the credence, the dogs are, right next to me and they're not running and, up to the bird. So that's usually where they start out, and then I'll do off leash and go from there.
I'll tell people this who are new to dogs, picking up a dachshund while a hawk's up in a tree or up in the air. It's no bueno. That's if they're going to hit the dog, that's when they'll hit it.
Yeah, while you're holding it.
Yep, while you're holding it. Do not hold one when a hawk's unrestrained. Or if you do, have your head on a swivel, watching what that hawk's doing.
Yeah, I think you got a little rabbit under your arm or something.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if there's a lull in the action, that's when I've seen it.
Yeah, it's like they get pissed.
Like they're just like, all right, I'll just kill the dog.
Yeah, I mean that's like about 45 minutes or so. That's when she'll start tagging Echo. So we haven't seen anything.
Is she
sometimes it's hard to get stuff to move.
Well, not
the only time
season.
she actually bound to him was whenever he was going after a rabbit and like almost caught it, and she grabbed his face and the rabbit at the same time.
Oh my god!
So
that's actually pretty cool.
That was the only mess I had. But usually she'll just whack him and just go flying.
Okay,
do a little flyby. So.
Rich, I want to hear, because we have listeners all over the country and the world. I want to hear what your cover's like that you hawk in on like a day-to-day basis. Because I'm sure it's I mean, for us, it's probably not that far off from what Aaron hawks in, what I hawk in, but people out in Aaron, where's our biggest viewership?
Ireland.
Where do we say it was?
It wasn't Washington. It was
Oregon.
Oregon. Yeah, Oregon. Shout out to Oregon.
Shout out to the
I've never been out west, so I don't know what their cover's like. But I mean,
I've heard they've got some real gnarly blackberry in Oregon. They say like Himalayan blackberry or something.
Out west, Rich. I'll just paint the picture for out west. It's just just dirt, and then like a little bush, and like 10 rabbits under that bush, and then 100 feet away is another little bush, and there's like 10 rabbits under that bush.
Well, I haven't been very many places. I was at Napa in Nebraska, so it was kind of like that.
The worst part about out west when you're hawking is like you walk around and you're just like crushing rabbits under your feet.
Yeah,
that's and the hawks are just coming down and grabbing them. You're like, no, man, I want you to chase the live ones.
Yeah. You're just stuffing them in your bag as you go. Just kidding, everybody. We're just joking.
Just goofing.
Just joking around.
Yeah, I mean, my covers, since I have mostly squirrels, I usually stick to hardwoods. So, try to get as open of hardwoods as I can, but a lot of it's got greenbrier and laurel thickets and stuff like that. And then staying on the edges of it, you have some pretty thick, gnarly briars and everything. And
are you in the mountains?
Got many of pictures with my face all sliced open, from briars and blood dripping down my forehead and stuff like that. But,
that's why you got dachshund. Those days are behind you.
I sure hope so. Sure hope so. At the end of Ohio meet last year, one of my buddies, Garrett, he's was out hunting with me and my other buddy Rick. Last day, and of course didn't want to fly my bird with their dachshunds, so they both have dachshunds. So I just had Echo, and we're banging on the brush and trying to get rabbits to move, and they were moving and going back and forth and through all this really, really thick stuff that. Like nothing except for a dachshund was getting through. And after we got done with just my bird hunting, Garrett looks at me. He's like, Rich, he's like, I haven't beat brush all year as much as I have today for your bird. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. He's like, I don't beat brush anymore. I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to give me a dachshund.
Yeah.
So,
I still do a little bit, but there's definitely the old school way of doing it where you just let the dogs work. You don't do anything. I can't help.
when I go through briar chaps and briar shirts and stuff like that, and
Rich,
not every 2 years I've had to replace mine. So,
Rich, where do you get your gear from? You're like, you're probably a special fit. Jesus Christ, this guy's like, he's like, what are you like 7 feet tall and like?
No, unfortunately not. No, I'm only 6'2".
6'2" is no way you're 6'2".
You're taller than 6'2".
No, you're way taller than that.
I'm 6'2".
Because our friend of the show,
I think Aaron and I are the same height.
No, you're not, because Harrison says
I'm just a little bit. I got a lot of padding.
No, Harrison says he's 6'4", and you're taller and bigger than Harrison.
Nah, Harrison's taller than I am.
Is he?
Yeah.
No, that's because he wears loggers wherever he goes for some reason.
He's got those lifts in his boots.
Dude, the kid goes hawking in loggers. I'm like, bro, like, what are you trying to prove? Why are you wearing loggers to go hawking in, dude? Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I use Dan's and Mule brand. I like the Mule brand shirts because they have ventilated like underarms and stuff like that, so it's not as hot.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm even when it's like negative temperatures, I'll just have a sweatshirt and then my briar shirt on, and I'm still sweating walking through the woods. So,
dude, I'm sweating right now. Or just sitting here.
Yeah. Basically, if my ceiling fan wasn't on, I would be. But
yeah. So you got.
Yeah,
so
I don't wear too many layers.
Yeah, me neither. So you got mule. What is it called? Mule.
Mule, like the horse.
I'm not. Yeah, Mule. I'm not familiar with that brand. I'm gonna look it up. So it's called
that's
Mule.
The Mule. Yeah, Mule briars.
Bro, I don't know. I
have Dan's briar chaps and
Dan's is great. I got a couple jacket. I just got a jacket last year. I'm excited. I got the chaps. First time I ever bought chaps was Dan's chaps, and dude, those things are like bulletproof, man. And the thing, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Dan's that I like, and like compared to like the fancy like Filson stuff and like the the waxed ones that you can get. Those when they get wet, they get a little heavy. The Dan's are like literally like as light as a feather. They're like this braided canvas stuff that like nothing can get through, and like you don't even feel like you're wearing them half the time.
Like if you could actually have them make like different styles of stuff too, which is actually pretty cool. Their place isn't too far from me, and when I go out trapping, sometimes we'll actually even stop in there. But
really?
Who will make stuff for you?
Dan's, they'll like modify their like standard stuff if you like message them and
we
say
need
you want like
spring pants edition.
The briar, pants to be, come up past your waist, with that the nylon type material. Because it used to like stop like at your like mid thigh.
Right.
Like their standard stuff, and you just have them, they'll just like make alterations to it and change the fabric and stuff.
Oh, that's
the way
cool.
they do it. So it's it's really nice stuff. So.
We're the Dan's bibs, and I've got Filson bibs. After I sold my first house, I had what I thought was a bunch of money. Turns out it wasn't. I was hood rich. I bought some Filson bibs, and man, the first time I wore those, I was just sweating buckets. They're so freaking
definitely
hot.
Don't get the waterproof stuff because you will be sweating like crazy.
Yeah. Dan's is the way to go for me.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a way. Sure. Apparently there's a way to wax anything you have to make it a little more water resistant. I think you could take like a regular Carhartt, like that most falconers would wear, and there's like
it's like Ironhide or something like that. It uses like paraffin wax and
you like heat it up and like rub it into the material, and then like you have to wash it a certain way after that, but then the water just beads off of it.
Yeah,
there's a way to do it. It's like if you're bored,
like you said, it gets heavy if it does actually get waterlogged or something.
Yeah, I wear all Carhartt on the top. This year I got the Dan stuff, so I'm excited for that. But I just usually wear Carhartt, and I'm soaked. It's like it weighs 50,000 pounds. When I'm jumping in streams, I'm like drowning to death. It's too much.
Yeah, and since it's briar, it's also like windproof, so you don't need a lot to protect you from the wind and stuff like that. So it's really nice in that aspect too.
I ain't scared of no wind.
But like you jump in the water and stuff like that, it's going to dry off and pretty quick.
Yeah. It's real good stuff.
Keep you from being super cold if it is windy. If you are wet, even underneath of it.
Yeah, if I'm hawking and it gets all wet, like snow or like it's rainy or something, I just hang them up in my truck and crack a window, and like the next day they're dry as a bone.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, they're great. Dan's is the way to go. And I'm gonna look at the Mule company and check that out and see.
Yeah, I'm not sure what all they make, but I got the shirt because of it being ventilated instead of being solid.
Yeah,
Dan's makes one too. It's ventilated.
Do they?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can get Dan stuff on Amazon too, which is a pro tip.
Yeah, and it comes from Dan's too on Amazon.
Yeah. They sent me. I ordered like an extra large jacket. And it was like a dress. So then it like literally down to my knees. So then I had to
extra large juice.
So when I go to say hi to Richard at all the meets, I go up, I give him a hug, and I'm literally like up to his nipples. Not even. It's hilarious. I look like his son.
Yeah.
We both kind of look the same. Yeah, I give him a hug.
Shaved it off.
Yeah.
If I shaved my head, I look like Bam Bam Bigelow.
I think I know who that is.
He's from Jersey too. Yeah, from
was that the guy?
Park.
Was that the guy with the big boxing gloves? And he would just
no.
Oh, okay, forget it.
The hell are you talking about?
No, he was like he was a huge wrestler back in the 80s and early 90s.
Real or
fake?
Fake?
He wore like fake wrestler.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, he had a flames tattooed on his head, and his jumpsuit was flames.
Oh, I think I've seen this guy. It's ringing a bell.
Yeah.
I'm just not putting it together.
I shaved like my head and my beard and everything one year to go as Uncle Fester, and I looked like a big
That's hilarious. Oh man!
Hang on, let me share a picture of Bam Bam.
All right.
Dude,
While
He was
Aaron's
a
doing
mainstay
that.
of my childhood, man. Look at Bam Bam.
Look at this guy. Dude, that's like Richard if he just took a slightly different turn in life.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if he just
You're a
like
pro wrestler.
just like tried the drugs that were offered to him at the party, like that's the path he would have went down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, you're definitely you're more intimidating than that guy, to be honest. Yeah, that guy he looks a little not very athletic.
I don't know about that, Rich. Bam Bam's pretty scary.
No. Have you seen Rich in person?
Yeah, he fucking bought a dog from me, and he was at the Jersey meet.
Oh, that's a good point. What am I, an idiot?
Yeah, you are.
That's a good point. Speaking of buying and selling, right? You like that? It's called the transition in the biz.
Hey, Casey, that
yes.
transition was very tight.
You know, I appreciate you saying that, and we're talking to the person that makes the tightest braided equipment on the market.
Oh, while we
Rich,
got him here, we should ask him, Richard, how tight is too tight?
You can be too tight, that's for sure.
Oh my God, we're getting canceled. All right, so how much slave labor do you employ to make these ridiculously nice jesses and leashes? Like, how do you what? All right, how did this come about?
How did it come about?
Yeah. Like you just were one day just cleaning a tank, and you're like, "There's some string," and you just start braiding it, and you're like, "I'm good at this."
No, it was for falconry. I made my first stuff. I always like making my own stuff. I'm a big DIYer and, of course, artsy and everything like that. So
yeah,
any types of crafts and things like that, I'll kind of gravitate towards. So
nice.
my first jesses I made were the leather, ones with the button on the end of it, and then started seeing people with the braided stuff and looked into it and figured I could do that and started making my own stuff. And then I was making stuff for my friends and things like that, and then just kind of got a little bit out of control. But but yeah, it's self-imposed slave labor.
Okay,
so it's just me and myself and I.
How long does it take you to braid a set? So leashes, Jess's leash,
A set of Jess's usually takes you about an hour and a half.
Really?
So depending on the leash takes about 2 hours, 3 maybe. Do a 3-foot leash. So
you're just doing this for.
this is some Aaron stuff right here. I got to mail out to Aaron.
Nice. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
But
that would take me 3 years to do it like that. I mean, it's so tight. It's so neat that the jesses are exactly the same length, which is ridiculous. I've tried to braid my own stuff, and it's and I don't do the button on the end. I don't even know how you do that. It's some matrix stuff to braid that button.
That's the hardest part, and it's actually kind of the micro jesses are one of the harder ones because I actually have a in times mirror with a light on it that I use because you got to use needles to go back and forth through it to finish it off. So,
jeez,
kind of the micro stuff usually their micro stuff's 4 inches compared to 7 or 8 inches for the hawk jesses, and they take me longer to do the micros.
So do you sit in front of the TV and do this or what?
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can really do as far as with that. So any of my spare time and just do that. So right now I had to put everything on back order on the website because I just can't. People have 6-8 weeks of wait time.
So you
right now on my orders.
What's that again there?
You got that sporting chance bump.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is awesome. Thank you guys for that.
Rich is Rich is like that lady from Happy Gilmore. My fingers hurt.
Oh my gosh! It's ibuprofen because wake up, my hands are swollen and everything like that. So
Dude, I don't know how you pull those braids off, after shaking your hand. It's like they're so meticulous and neat and tight and small. Everything's tight. And dude, I got a goshawk that's been tethered on the same pair of Jesses for it's going into her second season, and she's tethered. Well, this year she's free lofted, but she was tethered the whole season, and now she's tethered again. And there is not, when I tell you, there's not one single sign of wear and tear on them other than changing color from getting dirty and stuff. It's just, you can't beat it. You really can't beat it. So just a huge plug.
I mean, that probably has to do a lot with the material too. So it took me a little while to find the right material and go through that with the type of rope and.
Is that a trade secret?
No, it's actually Atwood ropes. They do the Dachshund, which is like a double spun polyester.
Yeah, we'll edit that out. We don't want anybody going out and getting any ideas.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's lots of information out there, so a lot of people use it. I know I'm not the only one that uses it. So
yeah, it's good stuff. How tough is like a single strand? Like, could you use it as a creance, or is it not quite strong enough for that?
I think it's like 96 pounds or 98 pound rated. So, I mean, you could use it, I guess, as a creance rope. So,
yeah, it's a little sketchy with a red tail.
Yeah.
Flies over your head and just goes and it just snaps.
I use like masonry line is what I use for my creance.
Yeah, that's
masonry line. I think it's like 300 pounds.
So. Richard, pro tip from a construction guy over here: mason line will dry rot. So just get a fresh one every year.
Oh, okay.
I learned that the hard way one year.
Is that the braided stuff or is that
the neon stuff that comes with the little spool and you use it to stake, you put it on stakes to mark
there's
out
like
stuff.
The twisted stuff and then there's the braided stuff. Mine's like real slick. It's white, but it's like real slick and shiny. It's not neon colored.
It's probably guys with a bigger budget than the construction sites I'm on. but this stuff is just like orange or pink or whatever. And
yeah, that's probably the twisted stuff, which I can understand how it would dry rot.
Yeah, that stuff falls apart.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wouldn't use that for sure.
So you're
this
sourcing...
almost looks like that real heavy kite string almost, basically. It's what it looks like. What I use.
Okay. So you're an official business now, obviously.
Yeah.
At what point did you decide, like, how far into the future do you think you could like stop cleaning fish tanks and just doing this? You would need actual slave labor at that point?
Yeah, I'd have to employ some people.
Okay.
I mean, I just do it as, side money, and it basically the money I make doing the equipment is like my falconry fund, basically,
Got it.
So
Got it.
Like I like to travel to as many places as I can. I hit Ohio's meet, PA's meet, and New Jersey every year. And then last year I tried to go to Kentucky and theirs got canceled. I mean, I was there, but had to come back. And then I was able to do NAFA last year as well. Snowed. It snowed out. Yeah.
What? They canceled the meet because of snow?
They got about like 3 inches of snow.
What?
Unfortunately, yeah, Tyler, or was it Tyler? Yeah, Rankin.
Tyler,
He messaged me the night before, and he's like, I don't know when you plan on coming. I was like, well, I'm already here. He's like, oh, well, we might be rescheduling the meet because of the snow. And I was like, all right.
More squirrels and rabbits for you.
Yeah, I made the best of it. I went up to my buddy up in Dayton, his place, and we hunted. So,
which I know the answer. Well, at least I think I know the answer to this. Which meat is the best out of all of them?
It's a good. I mean, everybody has their good and bad, but as far as like game numbers go, Jersey definitely. I mean, when you walk into a field, it was actually crazy because we walked into this one field and there was like this big mound of dirt right behind all these townhouses. And
stay away from that spot.
I'm getting my bird ready, and the 4 or 5 people that are with me walk up on there, and they're like, "There goes a rabbit! There goes another rabbit! There's another rabbit!" And you like walk down in the field, and it's like every single piece of brush has chewings on it.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, you're just like stepping on rabbits. And it was actually my bird ended up in somebody's backyard, and I thought it was meet somebody's frou dog or something, and Yeah, so I had to go get her out of there.
Of course.
So it was kind of
Jersey meat's a lot
sketchy,
of
but
fun.
she ended up getting a rabbit. So
Good for
I got a
you.
squirrel too. That neat.
That's rare at the Jersey
It
meat.
was
Richard, I wanted to ask you.
What'd you say, Aaron?
What's it?
We good? I wanted to ask Richard something. Going to the different meats, something I noticed, like when you go to a NAFA meet, obviously we know it at this point. You're on your own. You just got to find your own spots. Jersey's the same way. You got to find your own spots unless somebody takes you. The meet that we do here in North Carolina, we roll out the red carpet. We're like, here's a spot for you. You know, got permission.
I mean, pretty much every place is like that I've been to is gives you like a general area, or they're really close to like a lot of public land. So they're like the Jersey meet. I've always known somebody, so they've always taken me to their spots. Tyler,
Basically, I'm just trying to discourage.
He's been a good help in Jersey.
So
I'm trying to discourage people.
But as far as like the other one, PA, they have it's in State College, so they have a bunch of all the Penn State land you can hunt on. So you just basically have a map. And they're like, here, you can go there, or people from the area will take you different spots if you schmooze them enough, and they've caught something the first day or two, then they'll take you.
Right.
But Ohio Mick, he's pretty big on having, kind of like a guided service almost for anybody that's new to the area. But they are close to like 3,000 acres, I think, of public game lands. So
public land sucks down here.
Sucks, bro. They suck everywhere.
It's rough. I do a lot of hunting on public land, and it's really rough for sure.
Remember a couple of years ago, me and a buddy were looking for fox squirrels, and we're in the Sand Hills region of North Carolina where the fox squirrels are. We find this stand of trees with a bunch of squirrel nests. Get over there, we're looking around, we see nothing, and then all of a sudden I look down and the ground's just covered with shotgun shells.
Yeah.
Somebody got bored and just came in here and just laid waste to every squirrel.
Yeah.
Our public land, I mean, especially in PA, is hunted really hard. So there's one spot that I hunt that it's like 10 minutes from my house, and my buddy's about 15, and we hunt the same areas. I've only seen like 2 rabbits in like 4 years there. And I mean, he catches rabbits all the time, but he's got a Brittany that points them. And so hopefully River will help find some rabbits in that spot. I've always seen guys with like beagles and everything as well. So there's got to be rabbits in there. I just haven't been able to get them to move.
If you're coming in behind,
they're probably hunted so hard.
Yeah, beagles and shotguns. There's not name a better duo for killing rabbits.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah, it's true. No, I will say the Jersey meat has good game numbers, and the PA meat is like the same, if not more. And it's like the PA meat is like different too. Like the rabbits sit out. Like we flushed one out in a tuft of grass. You were there for that. I got that video.
There was more than one. There was like 6 that day.
6 that day.
It was so freaking windy too, and they were just like hiding in like 3 inches of grass.
Yeah, we were just walking, and then like right then, once we flushed the one out of the tuft of grass, we started checking all the tufts of grass for like this like 30-acre field.
Harrison's Harris Hawk didn't catch that one. He basically threw the bird on.
Dropped the ball on that one. That bird. I mean, it was fighting. The rabbit was smart. It ran.
It ran
right
into the wind.
Right into the wind, and the bird just couldn't keep up with it. And then it disappeared. Then it disappeared in that huge pipe. Remember? And we went in the huge pipe. Dude, I thought I was gonna die somehow in there. We were like hiking in this giant culvert pipe, like because that's where the dog was saying the rabbit
went.
Like
a 4-foot tall culvert pipe.
Yeah,
and going into the bowels of the earth.
Yeah, I don't know where the heck it went, but it started getting sketchy, and like it just kept going, and we're like, all right, this is. And the Harris Hawk was running in there on the ground, and we're like, all right, this is getting sketchy now. Let's get the heck out of here.
Some Harris Hawk stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. So PA meet is a blast. So go.
It's definitely. I mean, all the ones I've been to, I haven't been to a bad meet. So
I've been to a couple, one in particular, but I'm not going to say it publicly because we have.
Why not?
Because we have a very good supporter of the show that is involved in that meet, and I don't want to disparage the meet.
All right,
but he knows what I'm talking about. I mean, we hiked around for like 17 hours. We didn't see anything. And then I go behind Home Depot and catch a squirrel. I'm like, why? Why are we in the middle of the wilderness right now?
Dude, the really shitty thing about
that's where the good rabbits are. The good squirrels are out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
I can tell you from putting on meets down here, the really shitty thing is when the weather is really bad.
Yeah.
You know, you can have all the great spots you want, but if it's like super windy, you know, or raining, nobody's going to catch anything and everybody's going to blame you for it.
Raining you can deal with. You could fly for 20, 30 minutes, go back in the truck, dry the bird off, fly again. You can kind of work with that. But when it's like insanely windy, like I think the Jersey meet was like 4 years ago, was like insanely windy. Like you couldn't even, like the bird was like a kite on your glove. If she chased something and then opened her wings, she'd be just like blown like a mile away. I mean, wind is hard to deal with, you know, especially if you're really trying to catch something. It's hard to deal with.
I'll say this about out west. They do have to contend with more wind than we do.
Yeah.
Dude, rough. I'll tell you, my first NAFA meet, I went out there and one of my friends from North Carolina was doing abatement out there. So his birds were used to the conditions because they were out there for like 6 months ahead of time. I get my birds out and they're like, their wings are like flapping over their heads. They have no idea what to do. And his birds are just like holding their wings perfectly and turning the right direction. A rabbit goes running and they just smoke it. And meanwhile, mine are just like, just being blown everywhere, like getting like slammed into the ground.
Bag in the wind.
Yeah. Like they'll take off after something and then the wind just slams them like head first into the ground. Yeah. It sucks. But if you live out there, your birds learn to deal with it.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of flying, you know, younger birds in the wind. Like if you know it's going to be wicked windy, like I'll never say like I'm not going to go fly because it's windy. I'll go with low expectations and then just like give the bird an opportunity to try to like learn like how to work itself in the wind.
Yeah, same thing with the rain. I'll go in the rain. Too, but expectations are what they are.
Yeah. The rain can be hard, especially if it's downpouring. But you know, you got to make it work. The birds make it work in the wild a lot of times. Sometimes they just sit tight, but you kind of, you know, us as falconers, right? We want to give the birds like at least for me, with what I like to see, I like to make it a more of a realistic, like natural experience for the birds. So I like to get them out in the. Well, I'm just saying, I like to, you know, especially you're raising an imprint, right? It doesn't know anything. Like you're just never going to fly it in the wind, and then all of a sudden it's windy. Like get it out in the wind and just let it kind of like play, and you know, make sure you keep an eye on it and let it learn that, like, you know, its body doesn't move the same in the wind, and kind of deal with it, build those muscles, whatever. It's kind of my philosophy. Stop making fun of me.
I'm not. I think the listeners can't see it, but when you start closing your eyes, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Rich, I got a question for you. So you've flown red tails. What's next? Do you have plans to fly a different type of bird?
As far as like a normal on rabbits and stuff like that, nah. I think red tails pretty much what I'm going to stay with. I wanted to get a kestrel over the summer, but my BC trap didn't work for me. I was like, the last day I was able to actually get out and go trap for a kestrel, and I had like a nice big female on my trap, and I used different kinds of nooses. I used the vinyl coated steel leaders usually on my regular BC, and I didn't have any small enough for the kestrel, and so I just used mono, and they didn't close up tight enough on her toes, and couldn't catch her. So, like I said, it was like the last day was the last chance I had to catch one. So,
I would never.
As far as a normal bird, I don't think
for you.
What's that?
I would never think tightness would be an issue for you. Tight.
Yeah.
Fishing line wasn't working for you. It wasn't tight enough. But as far as I don't have any.
You're good. You're happy.
Reason to like have another type of bird. I don't think
your red tails. You're not going to join the.
I like a big red tail.
Jerk?
No. Mm-hmm.
You're not going to join the goshawk circle jerk.
I don't think I have enough time to put into a goshawk, honestly. Like if I had more time, it'd be fun to fly one, but the whole thing with the big squirrels, like I know the goshawks are as big, as the red tail, but I think their feet are a little bit more capable with the red tail than the
you're going to trigger Casey.
goshawk. But I'm not saying they won't. I'm not saying they won't. It's just I don't know. It just seems like it's a lot easier for. It's like
just speak your mind. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me.
Goshawk is a Ferrari. It's high performance. It's going to go. It's going to get you there fast, and then you have the F-150 of the red tail. It's going to like just get you where you're going. It's going to do everything you wanted to do, and you don't have to work on it all the time. So
the Silverado, the transmission,
it's not as high maintenance. So I want to have fun. I don't want to have to. I mean, although my bird, she doesn't like flying with people a lot of the times until like toward the end of the season for some reason. Like early season, I can't have anybody out in the field with me. She just freaking takes off, and I got to go track her down. But about halfway through the season, she'll get used to people again, and then I can hunt. Luckily, most of the meets are in the last month or two of the season, and she's
the good ones.
Yeah. And she's
Who hasn't meet the first weekend in October?
Who does?
Exactly. I'm not going to say.
Alaska?
I'm not going to say it was, but I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
but you have to sometimes. But
yeah, I don't know. It wasn't Alaska, but it was.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you though, man, if you can get to a meet before deer season ends, like that's a huge part of it for us. Is the deer
before
season
it ends or starts?
Well, ours is usually in January, February, and deer season's over at that point. But if I could get to a meet in December, I could go kill someone else's game. I'm there.
Yeah. Well, the New York meet is in December this year, which should be a lot of fun.
I'll see you there.
But so you said something interesting that struck out to me because I never thought of doing this, and it makes sense, but it does sound expensive. You use steel leaders as your nooses on your BCs?
Yeah.
Never heard of that in my life. Aaron, have you heard of that?
Yeah, it's like
okay. Sorry.
I mean, it's like 30 pounds steel leader.
Excuse me.
On the red tail, and I mean, I haven't had a bird that's landed on it and not get caught. Like with the mono that I had, my sponsor had one with mono on it, and we were using his and mine at the same time, and we had a couple hit his and not get caught. But and then he switched over to using steel leaders on his after that.
But are you tying the steel leaders, or are you buying them in a specific size and then like looping them around the?
I make them, but
of course you
do. I mean, I can't take the credit for it because I've just copied somebody else's design.
Okay.
But like you just make the loop, and then the steel leader, you have the crimp on the end, and the crimp kind of acts as the lock. So you almost bend it at like a 90-degree angle to the loop. So your crimp is like kinked up. So when it catches, it actually won't slide back down because the ferrule's actually catching it on the steel leader. So then they're like super simple to just slide right back open.
Well, it's kind of like a snare, basically, like a snare.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. I never thought. Maybe I'm ignorant.
I can't remember the guy's name. He makes like the square BCs, and they have like 1 million nooses on them, and that's what he uses. But they're like copper colored. It looks like most of the time.
Western Sporting shoes pack of the steel leader nooses.
Okay.
I did see that actually, yeah, but I didn't put two and two together. I guess I'm a little slow, but that's a clever idea.
I don't know how you would attach them if they're already like pre-made, which like because I make them like I'll cut like a 18-inch piece of steel leader, and then like put it through the cross of the hardware cloth, slide the ferrule down so it has like 2 nooses, and then you create the nooses that way, so you actually have like 2 of them
off of
right
one
next to each other.
Oh wow!
One piece, yeah.
You doing varying sizes?
I usually do. Yeah, I'll have like most of them, like 2 or 3 inches. I'll have like 3 or 4 of them that are like huge.
Right. Just in case.
So just in case, yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
I like how the metal ones stand up too. They stand up really easily. They're not.
Yeah.
And it's really easy if you do it the way I said, where you like go through the cross and you pull that ferrule, because I mean they just like stick up like antennas on there. You don't have to worry; they're not going to flop around and fall over.
Yeah,
So
I just recently
makes it
bought
really
one
easy
of
to
the
keep them
Western
standing up.
Sporting BCs, and it's already got
The round one.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like super nice.
Had a couple. Got to be careful when you throw that one out the window. I've maimed some quail. Like throw it out the window, and it catches an edge, and it's rolling down the road at like 45 miles an hour with the quail in there flipping around.
Because you're built like a kaiju, man.
Just launching it like a football.
Normal people don't have an issue, but you're just like
throw that thing out there. Just frisbee action.
A pile of wire with a dead gerbil in
it. Yeah. And you're using a quail?
A quail and a mouse work really good together in the BC, because they keep each other moving around.
Yeah. What if you put like a mouse and a rat in there, and then the mouse is trying to kill the rat's trying to kill the mouse, and they run around in circles? That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I know some of the quail are like missing a bunch of feathers off of them whenever they get out of there because the mice are chewing on them. But they keep each other moving. They don't hunker down in the corner, so they always have a lot of movement.
Yeah, you definitely need movement in the BC. There's nothing worse when you get a store-bought rat and it just sits in the corner, like preening itself, like just sitting there.
Yep.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Out in Arizona, we were using zebra finches and gerbils. And they got along famously inside those traps. There was no fight.
I'm sure they would.
Yeah, they were just chilling, but it was pretty irresistible to those Harris hawks.
Yeah, I mean, it's just enough that one moves and it's going to make the other one move, where they're not going to want to be buddy, like two mice and one, they'll kind of huddle in the corner and stuff. But so
someone was telling me that they also use pigeons. They'll do a big BC and they'll put pigeons in it. Somebody was telling me that bird.
I don't know how you'd launch that out of your car.
That's true. Yeah, you might. Yeah, you might like a C-130, just like slide it off the back of your truck.
Yeah.
I guess it's got to be one of those situations where you can like gingerly put it out of the door, or have somebody else do it, sneak it out.
I don't know how people like see a bird and like walk out and like put the BC on the ground and then like walk back to the car and then catch it. All my birds, they're all so spooky, man. You better like. You got to be the thing hits the ground and makes like a jingle, and the freaking birds take off.
City birds don't care. You can walk underneath them and drop the trap right at their feet, pretty much.
Yeah, some I guess they're used to it.
Those old West Virginia country birds, they're not going to go for it.
It's so hard BC trapping in West Virginia because either you have like big ravines and guardrails everywhere, or you have so much traffic you just wouldn't be comfortable throwing a BC out.
Yeah.
So,
road trapping, you got to be careful out there. We had a guy in Jersey years ago. He passed away, got hit by a car.
What? He got killed?
Yeah, he got killed, road trapping.
Holy shit, are you serious?
Before my time, many years ago, but he...
Oh my God.
Doing something and somebody wasn't paying attention and just creamed him.
Was he in the car when he got hit?
I don't know the details. I really don't, but
Holy crap.
And I'm sure he's not the only one throughout the country in the years that have been injured road trapping. I mean, I've driven off the road trapping, smashed into stuff with my truck.
That's really easy to do. Yeah. I'm not hit anything, but definitely drove off the roads and you're rubbernecking looking to see if it's a juvie or not, and you're like, the gravel.
Yeah, I went right off the road, like straight in, like over this sign and into this like parking lot. Like, it was.
Oh man!
And it was a hag anyway. Wasn't even worth it.
Oh no!
Yeah, it sucked.
I've definitely driven recklessly, but knock on wood, I've never gotten into any kind of accidents or anything like that.
All right.
So Richard, we like to ask. Yeah, not yet. Actually, I'm going trapping tomorrow, so it could happen tomorrow. You know what?
Don't say it.
That's complete bullshit. Now I think about it. I was backing my truck up and back.
Yeah, you just told me the story. Yeah, I just realized that. Liar. Trying to act perfect in front of us.
I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I backed into somebody while I was trapping. Just
Yeah,
smashed
there you
into their car. Yeah.
You just
You know-
left. You just fled the scene.
You know what's crazy is, and it turned out it wasn't my fault. That was the funniest part.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it. But it's one of those crazy small world things. Cause then this other falconer hit me up and he was like, actually, Matt listened to the show. Hey, Matt. So Matt heard through the grapevine. It was like his coworker's aunt. And I told her what I was doing. Yeah. Which it's one of those small world crazy things. Like, what is crazy? Odds? Yeah. And he was running his mouth about me backing up. He also, I had to take a shit at a landowner's house at the last field meet. Dude, I was gonna crap my pants. Like it was down to the wire. I was like, I'm either gonna shit my pants or I'm gonna ask if I can use the bathroom at their house. And I went there and just blew it out. And then ever since then, every shit meme, every toilet meme, everything comes to me.
Yeah, of course. There's nothing worse than that, right? If you're in the field and you feel it coming on.
You gotta carry wet wipes with you in the field, man. Yeah, you can't be caught like that.
I was thinking long and hard about what my alternatives were, but I literally had nothing else. The landowner was at home, so it was just his cute wife.
That's even better.
She let me in, and I just went in there and just shamelessly blew out their bathroom.
Can't have any shame. It's that kid's book. Everybody poops.
Exactly. Thank you. You hear that, Matt? Everybody poop.
Oh, goodness.
So, Rich, have you ever found a dead body in the woods?
Not human. No.
No? What's the craziest thing you found while out hawking?
I don't know. Nothing really crazy, honestly.
Well, you're up in West by God, Virginia. You ever see any inbreds up there?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
There's some spots where the sun rises at 11 o'clock in the morning and sets at 2 o'clock down in those valleys in there.
Them hollows.
In the hollows? Yeah. You can find some rough ones down in there.
Really?
Tell us more about that.
When you hear the banjos, you turn around and go the other way.
Really? And people barking like that documentary,
like a moth.
Yeah.
You ever seen that documentary?
I mean, I'm up north and I'm right next to the PA line, but you get down further south and down the really back parts of the mountains, it'd be a little scary. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you picked up.
What part of West Virginia are you from, Aaron?
I was born in Huntington, but my family's from Beckley and those areas.
Oh, okay.
Means nothing to me. No idea.
Yeah, Huntington's over next to Kentucky, isn't it?
Yeah,
Ohio.
Huntington's up there, on the border.
Beckley's in there, Virginia.
Yeah, Beckley's kind of down, towards Virginia.
Rich, how far are you from where the documentary Soft White Underbelly was filmed with the whole family?
Dude, the Whitakers are from the Beckley-ish area.
Really?
Yeah, I never heard of that.
You never saw it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you gotta look it up. It'll give you a nightmare.
Soft White Underbelly?
No. Dude, it's the one kid, the one guy's they're all inbred and the one guy thinks he's a dog and he's like,
no, dude.
He's all shrunken and
that's not scary. No. That situation
that sounds a little messed up to me, but
yeah, Casey's
I'm not laughing at the guy. It's crazy. And my initial reaction for everything is laughter. So I just laugh at everything.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of the guy.
That's a sad situation. When you watch it, if you're feeling fear, then I don't know.
I'm feeling that I wouldn't want to really be in there. That's what I'm feeling.
They seem like really sweet people. No.
Until you end up on their dinner plate or something.
Like the hills have eyes.
I'm just kidding, Aaron. I'm sorry. Just joking.
Oh, man. How mean of you.
Just joking. So what else could we cover with you, Rich, before we let you get out of here?
I'm in the book. Ask away.
Yeah. So what are your plans? Your Mr. Field Meat. It's funny you mentioned that earlier because some folks from Ohio picked up a dog from me and they were talking about their great friend Richard
Mark.
Moats. Yep. They were talking about their great friend Richard Moats and about all the field meets he goes to. So what's on your agenda this year?
Oh, it's going to be the same. I'm kicking around if I'm going to go to NAFA or not. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be pretty good out in Kansas.
Are you going to take a bird if you go?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You going to drive out there, obviously?
Yeah, I drove out to Nebraska, and it wasn't too bad. It's just, monotonous driving. You just can't see anything. You're just flat. But, yeah, I definitely would take a bird. I didn't catch anything out in Nebraska. I didn't even see anything, honestly. But I wasn't lucky enough to hook up with anybody and go out with groups except for the second day, I think it was. I don't know how I ended up getting into, the situation sometimes. I asked the guy that was like setting up groups and if he had anybody that wanted to go out squirrel hawking, because I had a couple Polish guys that wanted to go out and see squirrel hawking. And I'd actually found a landowner that let me come there. And he had a pretty good supply of squirrels and everything. But like I said, my bird wasn't really liking to fly with a bunch of people. So I only wanted to take another falconer that actually had a bird in case my bird wasn't going to fly with these 3 Polish guys and come back down. And the guy's like, yeah, here's your group. And it's like 6 other people, no falconers, and the news reporter.
Oh my
Wanted
gosh.
to go and take pictures and everything. I'm like, I was like, this isn't what I asked for, but all right, we'll go see what happens. I gave everybody the spiels. Like, she's probably not going to do anything. She's probably going to go to the tree, sit there, and not do anything. We flushed a couple of rabbits, and they got some pictures and things like that. And they all had to leave the field before I could get my bird down out of the tree.
Oh,
really?
That's frustrating.
So that was the only day I was actually able to put game under, and she didn't want to have anything to do. She just watched a rabbit run across the field and oh.
Oh, that's frustrating, man.
But yeah, I definitely take my bird, even if I don't fly them. I mean, I've been to lots of field meets where I haven't flown my bird just because she's usually one of the last ones to fly. Because, like I said, I usually hunt in the evenings, and she's not ready till in the afternoon. And sometimes time will get away from you and let everybody else fly their birds. And I just like going out and seeing what everybody else does as far as letting their birds fly. And I get just as excited if somebody else's bird catches something and I'm there than my bird. It doesn't have to be my bird. Yeah. So, I mean, it's cool.
I'm the same way. I get pumped.
So I love helping people, produce game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, it's just when you go to field meets, that's all it's about, really. For me, is all the camaraderie and the time spent with everybody else out in the field. I know everybody else, some other people are about numbers and stuff, but I mean,
Casey,
it doesn't matter to me. As long as I get to have fun and hang out with cool people, it's all good.
I feel for me personally, when I go to a meet, I'm all business. I don't want nothing to do really with anybody until I catch at least one. And then once I catch one, then I'm like, all right, let's have some camaraderie and let's hang out.
Yeah.
But when I'm
there's definitely a lot of guys like that for sure. Like I said with the PA guys, a lot of those guys, they have their niche guys, and as long as everybody in that group catches something, then they're happy as clam to take you out with them, the next day or whatever.
Yeah.
And hang out and stuff. So
I want to catch something. As soon as if I catch something, I'm good to go. And I'm not even trying to double. I just want one thing. Boom. All right. Somebody else's turn. I'm good.
Yeah.
Especially when I travel to a meet. Actually, when I was at Jersey, my bird caught something every day. And Casey and Harrison were like, let's go again. I'm like, nope. I'm good. Good. Caught one thing. I'm good. That's all I want. I don't want that just.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with Jersey. I mean, I was able to catch a squirrel and a rabbit this last year.
Nice. There you go.
That's the Jersey double right there, right, Casey?
That's what we call it. Yeah. That's what we call it.
Yeah, the squirrel, like she went after the squirrel, which I didn't even see the squirrel. I thought it was a rabbit. We were in this big swampy area behind a school, I think it was. And
Yeah, we know that.
Rabbit ran out in the field. I'm trying to make my way across the swamp, and I like trip into the base of this tree, and everybody's like, she's stupid, she's stupid. I look up, she's coming at me. And I just happen to look at like a tree like 3 feet away from me. I see this tail flip around the backside of it, and she just smashes it into the tree.
Nice.
So I was like, yes. So it's pretty cool. But
you can't beat a red tail. They produce at field meets too.
Oh yeah.
You can travel with them, no problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been happy with them. I mean, not to say I won't down the road. Like I said, I just don't have time to fly a goss. And I'm not going to deal with the hares.
I think, to be honest,
everyone I've seen, they're just so noisy. I incessant thing just kind of is one of my pet peeves. I just can't deal with hearing that all the time. And that's also why I've not like really pushed to get a kestrel, because I've always heard all the kestrels are always pretty.
You get an imprint, right?
Too, so
you need
definitely.
If you're going to get a goshawk,
passage.
yeah.
But
if you're going to get a goshawk, I think you need a chamber bird, right, Aaron? So you can man it down like a red tail. You can
that seems like it'd probably be the best of everything.
You have to deal with screaming, raising it, all that is very time consuming. You just man it down.
Big fan of the chamber birds.
I mean, if I had other like feather and stuff like that, ducks and quail and stuff like that, it'd probably be a different story. But I mean, they stalk pheasants, and I mean, I know people take red tails and use on pheasants sometimes, but rabbits and squirrels is where it's at. So
yeah, you got a free red tail that can do the job. Why spend $4,000 on a
True. Yeah, true.
Although the amount of driving I did to catch this last red tail was, I could have had me a hares at least.
Right.
The amount of money, it was like 4,000 miles I drove around, and
oh my gosh,
trapped a lot of birds, released a lot of birds, and I just wanted a really big tail. So
you're being picky.
But yeah, I was being really picky. Yeah, so
sounds like
actually a first for my sponsor too. We actually trapped 2 in the same trap.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah, they both came in at the same time and both got caught. And,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, one lit me up really good. I messed around and was releasing feet, and she grabbed a hold of my thumb, and my sponsor, he was just cracking up.
Oh man, that hurts.
he was having a good time. Me dealing with trying to get her off my hands.
So who was your sponsor?
His name's Kirk. So
okay,
he's like up and like I said, I don't think he's had a bird since he had a bunch before me, but since I was an apprentice for him, he hadn't had a bird.
It's an older guy?
He does. Yeah, he does a lot of quail hunting and stuff, like gun hunting and travels. Stuff.
Got it.
So.
Understood.
Yeah, he likes some micros too, so his bird dog won't let a kestrel be in the house.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
But,
yeah. Good stuff.
Well, Richard, we plug you every episode, but
you do. That's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Where can people find you?
Website, Facebook, Instagram, Midnight Falconry.
And where'd the name Midnight Falconry come from? We speculated that's when you start your slave
I just spitball a bunch of names, and it was kind of one of those things that one sounded the best out of all the names I came up with. And I do burn the midnight oil when I'm doing it, so
it works.
I'll be up to like 4 a.m. sometime. Like recently, with all the orders I have right now, it'll be like 4 a.m. usually when I go to bed.
Jesus Christ!
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, man, because you deserve it. And make sure you set you're going to get an order from me pretty soon. I'm about to pull this North American out of the chamber, and I think I want to put a nice. I think I want like sky blue because she's molted. I think I want like sky blue and white.
Jesus Christ!
That's what the orders I sent you were. That's the first orders I sent you were sky blue and white.
That's true. Maybe. All right, you're right. I think that's just my go-to.
I think the ones you have on your other one, your new bird, is
they're
the
green,
tricolored
right?
ones.
Yeah, they're tricolored. Yeah, they're great.
Blue, gray, and black. I think.
Make his next set green and brown.
So they just blend in with everything. Yeah, no, Rich, you pick. No pressure for me.
Well, you don't want me to pick because it's always the same. I like orange and teal and blue and silvers.
Oh, how about
it's like my favorite combinations, and that's actually what red, black, and white.
Yeah, sporting chance colors.
I don't want anything red hanging from my bird's feet. Nothing red.
Got a couple sets here that are red and black. It's got to go out to somebody. So two people actually ordered red and black.
I just feel like the red hanging is just, it could be a problem with other birds.
I don't know if I'd want red hanging off my bird.
No red.
Have your son choose. Show a picture of my website and just I got all the colors and all my patterns and everything on my website. So.
All right, I'll have him pick it out then. Yeah, I'll let him pick. Yeah, because I'm excited. Yeah, and the new set I had an extra set that was left over, and I threw it on the new bird, and they look fresh, nice,
good
real
stuff.
Fresh. Yeah, man, real nice equipment. Yeah, if you guys fresh and tight, and listen, guys, if you're in the market for new equipment, you can't go wrong with Richard's stuff. I'm not just saying that. I approached him about being a part of the show because I'm just so big on his equipment. I just love it. And I've bought other braided equipment from other companies, but they're just, to be honest, they're just like overly expensive. Like they're like $90 for like a set or $100 for a set. And I'm like, I don't know what your prices are now, Rich. I hope I'm not screwing you over, but
I haven't
He's
changed my prices.
150. He's like, I'm actually.
I haven't changed my prices, and it's actually probably a lot lower than what I need to have it because, like I said, as much as it takes. I'm so inundated with orders. I actually had to put everything on back order for my braided gear because
is there a wait list?
It's like 6-8 weeks for me to get an order out right now.
Can people get on a list? Richard,
it's still available to back order on my website, so it'll still come through.
Do it. No pressure from me. Mine are still good as new, which is crazy. They really are. It's just crazy. They're good as new. All right, cool.
I'm gonna have to find some worse supplies to make them out of. So it's actually
don't
have to rebuy this stuff so you don't have it for your lifetime.
No, don't go full capitalism and start putting out shitty products so that you get repeat business because they're just back.
Yeah, exactly. What's that? Forced. Whatever the Apple stuff is.
It's literally everything. I put water heaters in. I put a $1,000 water heater in a customer's house that lasts 6 years and blows out. And that's it. That's how you get a brand new truck. Trans blows at 50,000 miles. My wife's truck, 70,000 miles. Factory warranty.
Forced obsolescence. I think that's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where they say the iPhones are made to like after so long they like just get slower and slower for.
Of course,
it's like built into them.
Of course,
to make you want to buy something faster.
It's pathetic. It makes me so angry. So don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I definitely wouldn't.
No,
wouldn't do that. So.
Yeah, because all you need is one.
I'm happy if people are happy to have my gear on their birds.
That's it. No, we need to add to his ad lifetime guarantee.
I
mean, realistically, you could do that because if they rip, because if you get a stupid bird that starts chewing on them,
lifetime.
Well, heck, how long is the lifetime of the bird? I mean, like how long do the birds?
No, don't do that.
Got those live fast, die young birds.
Yeah, and
it's true.
And if you drop one in the field, he'll braid you a new one for free.
Just making up stuff. Screwing over Rich.
Bringing more work.
Yeah. Screw that. Man.
Put me out of business. Bankrupt me.
Destroy your fingers. You get freaking carpal tunnel in your fingers.
If you don't see me at the New Jersey meet, you'll know why.
Yeah,
he's just here slaving away. I can't afford to make it out there. All these free things I'm giving away.
Dude, when you say you braid for 3 or 4 hours for a set, let's say you're charging $100. That's not much for skilled labor.
Yeah.
I mean, good and well, Casey's ass charges more than $25 an hour to come out and do plumbing.
Oh, I mean, for my day job, I definitely charge way more than that. But set of jesses right now are $20. Leaf jesses, I think, it's $50.
That's great. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair, man.
Fair.
It's really fair. They come in a cute little package with stickers and stuff, right? And you have not stickers, but like little cards or whatever you had in there last time. Or maybe you just dolled up mine.
Probably just my business card. I need to get some stickers made, and I want to get some stickers made up.
Yeah, you should definitely do that. Yeah, I freaking love your gear, bro. I really do.
Yeah, everybody loves stickers, so
yeah, can't go wrong with stickers.
Yeah,
I love getting stickers.
We're sticker whores around here.
I know. I need some of the new ones.
You shall get some.
I got a new Hawk box coming too. I got one of the NAFA raffle. I won the medium sized box.
Oh, did you?
Oh, nice. Good for you.
That thing up.
Did they just do the drawing for that?
Yeah, like over the weekend, I think it was.
Man, I guess I didn't win anything. Did they email?
No, your name wasn't on there. I didn't see.
Thanks.
I didn't see your name on there.
I need to look it up because I spent about $100. I never win shit.
Me neither.
I usually don't win stuff on those either. I'm usually pretty good at the picnics and stuff like that, the raffles. The meets. But
I never win, and then
I usually get a couple things.
When I bring my wife to the meet, she wins everything somehow.
Well, there you go. Just bring her for that.
Yeah, she's like, good luck or something.
Oh, it says here, my entry. Thank you for contributing to the September NAFA raffle. Unfortunately, your entry wasn't selected as a winner.
Uh-oh.
So
I've gotten plenty of those. I was really surprised when I saw my name.
Dude, I'm calling BS. Ramona Humbarger won 3 times. And there's Richard Moats down there with his medium box, and then Tyler Rankin won twice. The hell, man? This is I think it's rigged.
It's rigged.
It's rigged.
The president, the president of NAFA won prizes, won the Huber hood. That's
come
bullshit.
on. That's such BS. Come on.
Yeah.
That's rigged.
Yeah. Never doing it.
The
Never
last
doing
one,
it.
I was one number off on the last one, too. So
that fucking makes me mad.
Aaron's like triggered over here. All right.
Dude, at the North Carolina
I never win anything that I want to win usually.
At our field meet, the treasurer won the giant hood that they did a raffle for.
Okay.
The treasurer of the club won that. I'm like, dude.
Hey.
Yeah.
Rigged.
It's always rigged, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's like our raffles. They're rigged.
No, we do pick people that we do pick good people.
I was gonna say there was some random names whenever the ones I had to send out. So.
Yeah, no, they're real.
Yeah. Did you get any feedback? Yeah, they're just like my pseudonym and like to different address. And I'm getting all Richard's
stuff. I
stuff.
don't get any direct feedback. A lot of the times there'll be like comments or something like that on Instagram.
Yeah, freaking love it.
All right. Well, thank you, Rich. Appreciate it, man.
Sure thing. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. Seriously.
No problem.